Both RJ Barrett and Immanuel Quickley have spoken out on the trade that just went down, and they had some very interesting comments regarding to everything that's going on. Obviously, they said they're excited about being Toronto. That's a generic response, but they had some interesting discussions regarding their future role with this team and some tidbits that went on behind the scenes that, are pretty intriguing to Toronto Raptors fans. So lots of stuff to break down in this video, but before we do, folks, we are very close to 31,000 subscribers. 31 is my favorite number, so cool number there to hit, and over half of our viewers are not subscribed to the channel. We've been cranking out about 4 videos a day here on Raps Digest, keeping you up to date on everything that's going on. So if you want to stay up to date with everything that's happening around the Toronto Raptors, definitely hit that subscribe button. But let's dive into the news, and we'll talk about Immanuel Quickley first, because Raptors fans are already pretty familiar with RJ Barrett. I mean, he's the young Canadian prodigy that made the league, was a top 3 draft selection, and finally made his way home. So he had some fun discussions, but Quickley is the guy I think a lot of people want to learn more about. And the first question you're going to get asked when you get traded is, where were you? What were you thinking when that deal went down? Apparently Quickley just woke up, so he thought it was a dream. So, that could get misconstrued. It was dreaming about joining the Toronto Raptors or things along those lines, but, caught him off guard a little bit and things like that, but did directly say all the things you'd expect. Toronto's a great city. I'm glad to be here and excited to get started. So, when they don't say that, might be a red flag. When they say it, doesn't really mean anything. But nice to hear that Quickley is happy with the city of Toronto, happy being up north in Canada. And we know Immanuel Quickley wants that opportunity to lead a team. He's playing behind Jalen Brunson with the New York Knicks, and he's a guy that's been putting up crazy stats off the bench for New York, and when he was a starter, averaged 22, 5, and 5. So he is ready to sort of be handed the reins on an NBA basketball team and show what he can do, especially in a contract year at that point guard position. So he's amped, he's pumped up to sort of join. And regarding his role specifically with the Toronto Raptors, he had some interesting comments as well. Basically, quickly on his fit with Barnes, he says the type of talent he makes it a lot easier for players like me to thrive on both sides of the ball. Playing somebody that is 6'10", can pass, dribble, and shoot, defend, that makes the game really easy. So he's excited about playing with Barnes because there was some chatter amongst some corner of Raptors fans that, hey, Immanuel Quickley is going to be wanting to come in, be that point guard. Is he going to want to play with Scottie Barnes? I mean, playing with Jalen Brunson, on-ball guy. Can he sort of step back a little bit and continue in that role, even though his desire is to play the point guard position? Well, even though Scottie Barnes is a guy that likes to facilitate, pass, everything that Quickley just said, he's excited to play alongside Scottie Barnes, star. No mention of Pascal Siakam just yet. We'll see if he's actually on the roster coming up soon. But again, this is a pretty interesting fit. I think it's a perfect fit in terms of what these two players can provide, and I'm happy that Immanuel Quickley is pretty pumped up to be playing with Scottie Barnes. And then regarding his role specifically, Quickley said that his preference is to play on the ball, but has shown that can also play off the ball with it. Said his role was to be a scorer off the bench in New York City, and with a new expanded opportunity, he's hoping to show that he can make plays and elevate his teammates. So basically, this is one thing that has me excited. And this is one of the tidbits that I think is really interesting to Raptors fans, because some of the language Masai Ujiri used, regarding the actual acquisition, Quickley could be a spark. Sometimes that language is thrown to sixth men. And again, I didn't want to read too much into it, but stuff we have to look at, because again, we want Quickley to be a starter on this team. When he talks about expanded role, it feels like Darko's already told him, yo, you're going to be the starting point guard. You're going to have all this opportunity, all this minutes. So that's a good thing to see. He wants to play on the ball. I think that makes sense, being a point guard, being the scorer that he is, and being able to facilitate, because again, average 5 assists per game when he was a starter with the New York Knicks last year. So it's proven he can be a facilitator, but off the bench was more of a explosive scorer, which is another thing the Toronto Raptors need. So, don't limit yourself there Quickley, but the fact that, he's a guy that can score, can get some buckets, and is looking to facilitate is music to Toronto Raptors fans' ears, because we want to see everything out of Tyrese Maxey. The Tyrese Maxey comparables are happening there. Immanuel Quickley coming into this Toronto Raptors squad. So, exciting things, really positive sort of introductory press conference for Immanuel Quickley. Couldn't have said things better. And I'm happy that he's getting that expanded role with the Toronto Raptors. We'll see if they actually play tonight. News hasn't dropped whether or not they're going to be playing. Apparently closer to game time, we'll have a better idea. The Raptors don't like to leak that stuff anyways, so we'll see what happens along those lines. But now, the hometown hero, RJ Barrett, who's a guy that has definitely been polarizing amongst Raptors fans, Knicks fans. While this trade has happened, some Knicks fans are saying, good luck with RJ, enjoy the inconsistency and stuff. And then some of them are saying he's a future star, and Raptors fans think he could be an all-NBA player and things like that. So, people are have wide opinions on RJ Barrett, but one thing that is going to sound true. It's nice to see a Canadian star player be home, and RJ is very happy about it. He says, I mean, who doesn't want to come home and play in front of their family and friends and get a team that they've always loved so much back to where they were in 2019? So RJ directly said he was a fan of the Toronto Raptors growing up, and he wants to get us back into that championship contention. So my camera looks like it's died, so we'll see what's happening with this. My camera's died from recording too many videos, so we're switching up. This is the only time I have to record this sort of reaction before this game, so we're running with this. But yes, it is a huge positive to see RJ Barrett, hyped to be back home, not sort of feeling weird about it, because he was also asked about sort of the questions if there are any distractions about playing back home. And Josh Bloomberg, I think that was a pretty solid question. Basically, it's great. I'm really happy excited to be here. Thankful, blessed. Grew up a Raptors fan. It's going to be great. But asked about the challenges, he says, maybe if I came here at 19, it would have been more difficult. But having grown up, I understand that I need to work. So he says, obviously everyone was making the push for RJ Barrett to be a Toronto Raptor. Back in 2019, following that sort of season where we had that colossal choke to the Cleveland Cavaliers, the LeBronto year, the pinnacle of LeBronto, and people were just ready to tank. We were done with that squad. Obviously, Masai Ujiri, rather than tanking, similar to what happened this season, rather than fully bottoming out, he said, hey, let's make a deal, and we ended up winning a championship. Obviously, neither Quickley or Barrett are on the magnitude of Kawhi Leonard just yet, but, RJ Barrett, even though, again, Raptors fans wanted him at that point, things along those lines, he feels like all the distractions that might have come if he was drafted by the Toronto Raptors back in 2019, those are all gone. He's a professional. He's experienced in the NBA. So things are going to be solid. Things are going to be able to sort of manage all the distractions that might come off the court from being in Toronto. So again, that's a very big positive there. RJ Barrett's locked in, ready to go, ready to hoop for his favorite team that's growing up. And then also, RJ had some comments regarding that I know who I am. I've shown who I am over the course of the years, just trying to get better with the Raptors system and hopefully unlock some new areas of my game that I haven't been able to show as much. I am just excited to be here and be a part of this. So, again, question marks, fans, divided right now on RJ Barrett. People don't really know how to feel, or people do, and they have extreme opinions on both sides of sort of the hype bracket. So RJ, he knows who he is. He knows who he is as a basketball player, and is hoping that with this sort of opportunity with the New York Knicks, and Chris sort of discussed it, we'll see if Pascal Siakam and Jakob Poeltl are on this team by the trade deadline, in terms of floor spacing and stuff. But with this new role, the team going in that younger direction, even if we keep Poeltl as well as Pascal, RJ Barrett's going to be given sort of the reins to drive that basket, have Quickley and Scotty Barnes able to facilitate from, and Dennis Schroeder when he's out there on the court. Again, the jump shooting is a little bit of a question mark, but RJ Barrett's just ready to do whatever he's asked, grow his game, and do everything he can to make his favorite team win an NBA championship. So it's great to see RJ Barrett back home, ready to rock, hyped to be bought into this Toronto Raptors team, and he discussed how he's confident that this Raptors group, with everything that they have going on, he says he's been watching them, especially as of late, how this team is sort of built, how this team is sort of constructed, that they're going to be able to turn things around. He has that confidence because the Raptors right now are in a pretty desperate spot. 12th in the Eastern Conference, falling down behind teams like the Chicago Bulls, only game back of the Atlanta Hawks, who have been brutal themselves. But we have a tough stretch of games coming up over the next month. But RJ Barrett feels like this squad can really turn things around and go on a little run. So I'm pretty pumped to watch this team, excited to have everything rolling. But let me know what you guys think, because I know everyone's sounding off in their opinions on this trade, as I have been on YouTube here, but it's a fun time to be a Toronto Raptors fans. We're not sure how everything will work out. We're not sure if more moves are coming, but I am definitely, regardless, going to be hyped to watch Immanuel Quickley and RJ Barrett play in Raptors uniforms, regardless of if we win or lose our next month of games. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. You guys are the best to make it this far. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Anyways, Marcel's going live as well for this Raptors Knicks game here tonight, so definitely check out that vid. Anyways, I'm signing out. Cheers.